Hey, Casey, thanks for coming on the show today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm excited that you were able to make it. I know how busy you stay with all of your trailers, so I appreciate you making the time.
Yes, we had a small little break today, and when I leave here, I'll be going to South Texas with the trailer, so it worked out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I mean, that's cool how you just like you stay so busy with it. Like if you guys aren't building them, you're delivering
Hmm.
them and just really like it seems like there's just a constant influx of inventory and orders and
Yes, it's been last week was super busy with orders. This week has been a little bit slower, but it gives me time to catch up on paperwork and deliveries. Last week I did about 3,600 miles, and the week before that about 4,200 miles.
wow.
And this week so far, only one trip to South Texas and then one tonight. The
Okay.
customer's itching right now to get his safety shower down there, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to roll.
Well, in I mean, with the types of trailers that you make, like I mean, I could see that being a little bit
Hmm.
time sensitive and people being, uh, you know, like you said, itching to get them. Is this a busy time of year for you?
Yes, it's busy right now. Like right when the summer starts getting hotter. A lot of people start doing the open air porter cool trailers and the enclosed trailers. So I say this all the time. People always know it's going to get hot. They always know they're going to need them,
Mm-hmm.
but they always wait until the last second to order them. And because they can be expensive to order, 10 or 12 of them at a time, or even four or five. So then they just hope that we have them in stock. And luckily, we do a pretty good job of keeping them all in stock because we know they're all coming. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, where it was probably 7 years ago, we didn't think we'd sell another cool down trailer ever. And then that year, I think we sold about 80 of them. So, and that was
Wow.
years ago. I mean, it's the same thing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we're going to sell probably another 80 this year and then probably another 80 next year. I don't know what people do with them when they get rid of them, but
Do they last a long time?
they do. They actually do. The portico trailers are really good, and I try to keep a lot of our trailers pretty simple. These are 16-foot utility trailers with metal around them about 3/4 of the way. 10-foot benches with a big fan in the front of it and a water tank. They do get beat up a lot because the oil field in general. I mean, it's very good about beating stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen portico trailers out there for 5, 6, 7 years, and they're still making money every single day.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
awesome.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it just seems like all of that is great for the workers
Hmm.
too. And do more and more companies invest in that type of I don't know if you'd call that a luxury or it seems like it'd be
It's
a
a safety. Yeah,
necessity.
it's a necessity now. It's 100% safety. I think the rule is after say 2 or 3 days of 90-degree temperature, they're supposed to have them on workover rigs, frac jobs, drilling. Anytime they get roustabout hands are out there working, there's some kind of rule like that, which I don't really know the rule, but I just know that it's when it's 90 degrees for a few days in a row, they start hammering down on them for
Yeah,
sure.
that's good. And, I mean, because it's so hard. I worked in the
Hmm.
field, and so I know what those conditions can be like,
Same.
especially when you don't have anything like
Hmm.
that. And really, it's dangerously hot.
Yes.
And when you're out in, Orla and Mentone,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, it's already 100 degrees, but out there on location with the caliche pads,
Hmm.
it's even
The
hotter.
FRs,
And your
the
FRs.
tools, the motors, everything running. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is bad. And those portico trailers are really good because I've seen them a lot of times set them up like away from the guys that are working, and it'll just kind of blow air towards them
Oh,
while they can
okay.
still work, even though they can go on the inside and set down in them also.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two good ways those work. The enclosed ones are, of course, AC units.
Yeah.
So, and they're getting more popular. And because they can stay out year round, because then they can put the heat in them too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
your rental companies like that, because the portacles they're only good for so many months when it's hot. The enclosed ones they can put them out, and a lot of times they can leave them year round because they have heaters in them also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the benefit of the enclosed
Yeah.
unit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you also do the emergency like eye wash
Yes.
shower type trailers as
The
well.
safety shower eye wash is how I got started. When I was with a rental company before, my brother owned one. We were putting out safety and eye wash trailers, and at one time we were getting them. They were so complex that it was nearly too hard to repair them. Whenever my brother sold his company and I started my own building these trailers, um, I wanted to simplify them a little bit because they never break down when it's 72 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's always, minus 10 and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So we've simplified them a lot where we can go in there and fix them easier. But that's really what started Emergency Trailer, was just the safety and eye wash stations. And then from there, we've just progressed into any type of trailer. We've built some pretty crazy trailers.
Yeah, no, I've definitely, I mean, because I've followed you for a while now on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and I think it's neat in the way that you'll convert different, like
Hmm.
if you come across basically like an old trailer, like you can turn it into
Yes.
something valuable.
Yeah, we've taken especially in the last probably 4 years to 5 years, we've taken a lot of people's trailers, customers' trailers that have been out basically in the graveyard, and we've taken them and made them useful again. So now they can start making money on them again. Because I mean, the investment in a trailer is a lot. So if you can save $4,000 or $5,000 when you're trying to make 75, 80, $115 a day, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
We've taken the oldest one I've taken a 2015 trailer, and we've taken it and turned it back into a safety eye wash shower trailer. And last time I talked to the customer, they're still using it, so they made money on it for a while, and it's set for nearly, well, I say 2015 is when he bought it, so it's set for I think in the field for 4 years, and in the graveyard. Then we turned it around and got it working again, and so for about a year now, he's been making money on it again, and he thought he'd never be able to use it again.
Right.
So to me, that's a win-win.
Oh, for sure. I love that because I mean you do see a lot of abandoned
Hmm.
trailers, and
Oh yeah.
if you don't have that skill or the setup or the know-how
Hmm.
to give it that next life,
Right.
yeah, I mean I could see where they just kind of get cast away or forgotten.
They do. There's a lot of them out there in the field, and I try to tell people like I love selling a new trailer, but a lot of times it's better to take one of them old ones and reinvent it, get it back out there, and let it make some money. Because I know for the most part, those are paid off for the customer, so they're getting a
Hmm.
return of investment like automatically.
Yeah.
So that to me that's good. But I do like seeing a nice shiny new trailer going out also.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, has that been a challenge, the growth of manufacturing so many, or do you?
Well, we have about three to four different let's say manufacturing buildings down there that they may build different trailers. Like one guy may build most of our 16-foot cool down trailers. One guy may just be building safety showers. So it kind of depending on what trailer it is, what size it is, and which one it is, it's kind of we can put it on different builders. So it kind of keeps a flow going pretty good.
Okay.
Right now, if somebody ordered a 20-foot trailer right now, custom build, I mean, I'm probably 3 weeks out max, and there's not too many people that could do that right now at
Hmm.
all. I don't know if any other companies can.
Right.
I mean, just to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
And as long as you've been doing this, it's just continued to scale over the
hmm,
years, and just with relationships and repeat customers and word of
yes,
mouth.
a lot of repeat customers, a lot of word of mouth. We do get a lot of times, especially this time, whenever the oil field's picking up again, you'll see a lot of you'll see a lot of smaller people coming in and starting up because their brother, or their aunt, or their sister, or their mom, or their dad, they know somebody that can
Yeah.
do it, so they'll buy trailers, and then they'll end up taking those trailers and selling them to a bigger company because the bigger company lost a little bit of work from them. So you'll see a lot of transition in new companies, and then it happens every time towards the end of it when it starts getting slowing down again. It'll just be your big time players again because your littler people will kind of scale down a little bit,
Yeah.
and some of them just can't compete with constantly buying new trailers and stuff because
Right.
it's one thing to go out there and buy two trailers and get a customer that your uncle or your aunt works for, but then when they say, okay, well now we want five of them, now you're buying $100,000 worth of trailers,
Yeah.
making $400 a day. I mean,
Hmm.
it takes a while. So a lot of times I try to work with the repeat customers the best I can, especially with pricing
Hmm.
because the prices are going up, and a lot of times I try to continue my price with my customer as long as I can.
Hmm.
So it's so fun.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It
it
really
seems like a
is.
fun, like a very unique business that you've built for yourself, like
Hmm.
kind of carved out your space in the industry.
Yes, and I started with LinkedIn. I started 2011 is when I started on LinkedIn. I had a little bit of posts from my brother's company, so I just took that and started rolling the LinkedIn as much as I could, and there for a long time. I mean, it was like somebody would put something about a trailer, they would just Casey, 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 and then it just really it's blown up a lot. I do. I mean, we're not getting paid here by LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has been really, really good. I
Right.
mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was a lot of, when I got on LinkedIn and I saw the potential there, I knew I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
something that was going to kind of bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I decided to do my podcast and marketing for oilfield companies, I thought that it was a service that I could provide.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer I've done it, the more it's just so natural.
Right.
And it's an interesting platform, especially in the oil and gas space, because LinkedIn can be just a melting pot of resumes and
Yes.
job announcements. But when you really dial into the industry, Permian Basin, like with what
Right.
we do, like you can build so many great connections and actual business.
Fact. That's so true.
And it's not just social media
Mm-hmm.
anymore. It is the efficient way for you to connect and grow and scale and for people to know who you are, because even when you're just posting on LinkedIn, it's like people know what you
Uh huh.
do. And they know, okay, we need trailers. Who are we going to call? And when you get tagged, when you have
Mm-hmm.
recommendations, when people are suggesting you, there's that credibility
For
built in.
sure, 100%. And a lot of times when people tag you, like you said, if the right person tags you, then it's a guaranteed sale.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I remember when I started LinkedIn, people would ask me, they're like, "Why are you on LinkedIn?" And this goes back to whenever I was when I first started doing rental business. I remember we used to go out there and we try to sell a job or sell our services, and when you pull up on a pad site, nothing against this person, but you might be talking to the guy that's digging ditches,
Oh, yeah.
and you'd have to say, "Hey, man, who do I talk to?" And you'd have to trust that they would go up the
Yeah.
ladder
Mm-hmm.
to tell the right person
Mm-hmm.
that, "Hey, there's a guy named Casey came by today, and he wants to do our services."
Yeah.
But on LinkedIn, when you could go straight to the top.
Mm-hmm.
You could go straight to the CEO, the procurement, the thing like that. So that's where I like that, where there was no lost in communication stuff. It was automatic. This guy, this lady is making the call
Mm-hmm.
right now to order or not order.
Yeah.
So I love that aspect of it a lot.
Absolutely. Because you don't know who you're talking
Mm-mm.
to. And especially when, in sales and you're just driving out to location
Mm-hmm.
aimlessly, hoping that
Right.
someone might be there to talk to or that they would want to
Yeah.
talk to you. But I mean, with LinkedIn, you represent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
People can see what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You can look and see who you need to speak with, maybe cultivate a relationship right there,
For sure.
or at least know who you're going to talk to, who to ask for.
Yes.
And so it's a very, again, with the efficiency of it, and it kind of puts you ahead of the game
Mm-hmm.
because you're not just trying to figure it out. It's,
Right.
I mean, you've got so much that's already like warmed up. It's not a cold call.
That's
It's
right.
you're not just knocking on a
That's
door.
100%. Like I just felt like a lot of times that cold call aspect is out of it, and it goes back to the right person or right company tags you. I mean, even still today, if I get a tag or if I get somebody that messages me, I'm just like yes,
Hmm.
because it just takes back that inner kid and you
Yeah.
like yeah. But now I got
Yeah.
to do my part.
Yeah. Well,
So
but and that's the thing too, because, and I see this, like some people get lost on LinkedIn because they're not at the right company, not in the right
hmm
position. So it's like the presentation is there, the energy is there, but now you're working for another company
hmm
and you got to start all over. But when you have your system in place, it's like, okay, you get prompted, it's go time,
hmm
and now you're just putting in your orders, getting things delivered, and you know what you're doing. But I think that it's it's a very useful tool as long as all of your other tools are working
Right, for
with it.
sure. That's 100%. You have to have the whole circle complete because if not, it will get messed up pretty
Yeah,
fast.
because it's like
Yeah.
you got opportunity right there, but if you're not ready for the
hmm
opportunity, it's that can be a loss
Right.
too. And so that was something that when I got on LinkedIn, because I was like just doing some contract sales, I'm like, okay, this is useful, but the companies I was working with they didn't believe in or support
Right.
LinkedIn. They're like, no, you need to go knock on doors. It's like
hmm
this very old school mentality. And it's like I get that. It's like, it's a numbers game. You
Right.
go knock on 10 doors, somebody's bound to talk to you and the one. But when we are moving through an era where it's all AI,
Oh
it's
yeah.
all social media, everything is online, you want to stay with the times and ahead of the times. And so, even if you don't necessarily get a sale off of LinkedIn, it's about your brand,
For
people knowing
sure.
who you are, that you're credible, you're working with people, and they can see, oh, look, at his business is legit and
Right.
successful.
100%.
We want to check this out. And
Yeah.
and you're showcasing your work, and so it's like, look at all these quality trailers. You
Right.
obviously know what you're doing.
And they can just go back and look at it, look
Yeah,
at your system. Yeah.
they can
I've
just run
met
through there.
I've met so many people off the actually he was on here, Rustin Llewellyn, with
Mm-hmm.
Hotter Than Hell.
Yep.
I mean, we've known him for a while, me and my brother, and like so we sell. We help promote sell some Hotter Than Hell up here in this area, but I just have like a couple customers. But again, through LinkedIn and through him, and there's so many people that also that I don't even do business with that I associate with on LinkedIn. But
Mm-hmm.
again, we're not here to really discuss LinkedIn that much.
Yeah,
So,
no,
but
but I
it's
think
so
that it's
good.
a big part of that
Hmm.
strategy and meeting people. And I think you mentioned to me before that you actually had an order from the Middle East.
Yes, we
Did
sold
that
a.
come from LinkedIn?
Yes, well, so me and my brother we were talking about this earlier. We there was a one of the supervisors over there. I guess it would be considered a supervisor over there. Saw some of our trailers on a site, a safety shower, and then he was able to get on, found us on LinkedIn, and that's how they end up getting our contact information without going through somebody else. So we sold the first order were for 10 safety showers, and then we had to take them down to Houston and put them on a ship, and they sent them over to Doha, Saudi Arabia. I think that's how you say that. And it was for the it was for a service company for Saudi Aramco, and so the frac guys over there liked them. I'm trying to remember the story because it's been a little bit, but the frac guys liked them a lot. And then the workover specialist he called, and they ordered six more, and they changed up the way they were built a little bit. So then we got all those ready, and we had to take them back down. We had to take those to Houston. Those there we built huge cages around them because they picked them up instead of a trailer. They picked them up
Oh, okay.
like with cranes. And then we took them down there to Houston and put them on a ship, which the whole experience was absolutely amazing because I'd never done anything like that. And again,
Right.
and I'm a one man show sending 16 trailers over to Saudi Arabia. I was just like,
That's
I mean, there for
huge.
a while I thought it was awesome, but then you bring in that oh god, how do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I rely on my brother because my brother is he lived he was in the army over there for a while, so he kind of know, and he's more what do they call it, dot the I and cross the T than me. Like I'm just
Oh,
like
okay.
once I make a sell, like I'm game on. But my brother's like, hey, hold on, there's certain things we have to do this time.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and then we took the trailers down to Houston and put them on the ship, and it was really neat to watch them get those trailers and set them on this big cargo ship.
Yeah.
And then for like I don't know 6 weeks, 6 months, they went across.
That's
The,
how long it took
yeah,
to get them
it was
over
a
there.
while, yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we were posted. We were set to go over there to kind of show how they worked and everything. And then that was right at COVID. So
Okay.
after that, right before COVID, we never got to go over there. And then it's kind of just slowed down since then over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's from my aspect of it.
Right.
But it was one of the coolest experiences to think through LinkedIn that I got trailers over to
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia like that for
Yeah, that had to
Aramco.
have been nerve-wracking though, just that whole
Yeah,
experience, and then having to wait for them
yeah.
to get there.
Then we had to
That's a
wait,
long
and
time.
just getting to the because also the communication, like it would be nighttime their time. It'd be different.
Oh yeah.
The communication was different. The emails were different. Some of the language was harder to talk on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like the funniest thing is like I kept getting a phone call and it kept showing up on my phone 11111, and I'm like going, I'm not answering this. This
Right.
is a spam call or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like fourth or fifth time, I just happened to answer it on accident, and that's when I talked to the guy the first time, and I'm thinking like this. I don't know if this is legit. So
Yeah.
I kind of like blew it off, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then I said, "Well, call me back if you're serious." And sure enough, like the exact time I told them, they called back. And by this time, there was a couple of them on the phone. So then we went from there. Like I didn't like vet them, but I kind of make sure it was
Mm-hmm.
legit before we did anything. And then we had to go. We set up financial ways to do it and everything. It was really cool.
That is
It was really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and like
So
that's not something that you would have anticipated or ever even thought of.
no, and not as fast as it happened. That was probably in my fourth year of doing it that it happened like that. And then we've done. I've sold trailers to Canada. all over the United States. I mean, I don't even know how many states I haven't been to,
And so,
really.
and you pretty much deliver them yourself?
Yes, yes. I would say I probably deliver 80% of them myself. My brother does a lot of them for me too, but I would say about 80% of them I probably do myself because we homeschool my
Yeah, that's what
kids.
I was gonna say. Like
Yeah,
you mentioned that before, and so that's kind of turns into a family
yeah,
trip.
yep. Well, I load up the wife and the kids, and we go. They don't like the. Usually, when I load up a trailer, like I don't stop until I drop the trailer. Then I'm
Okay.
like, okay, now it's family time,
Yeah,
and they're all wore out
because you've
because
got
they
that
drove for 16 hours.
right, but you've got that liability, and you just want to get that
Yes,
done.
just want to get it done.
So you're focused.
Yeah. So a lot of times they're all like, especially my wife, she's like, oh, like we got to drive like 12 or 14 hours. And to me, it's not a big deal,
Yeah.
but I got to think about them sometimes. So,
Mm-hmm.
but once I drop the trailer, now it's like, now it's playtime. Let's
Yeah.
go. What do y'all want to do?
Mm-hmm. And that
Until the next customer calls.
right,
Then
of
I'm like, I got to
course.
get home.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like your wife's pretty
Oh
understanding
my
and
gosh, she's the best. Like when I used to do the rental business, I mean, it was just always when somebody called, it's go time. I mean, I she was on vacation and she came home yesterday, and I was like, hey, me and the boys are gonna take a trailer. She's like, well, I'll be home today. I'm like, okay, well, like, we'll see you tonight.
we'll
She's like,
see
I'm
you.
gonna come home to an empty house. I'm like, well, sorry, we got a trailer to
Yeah, we
deliver.
gotta deliver the
So I
trailer.
loaded up the boys, and we have a blast when me and the boys go. But she's always been the most understanding when it comes to that, and I think you have to have that. If
Mm-hmm.
without that stability and being able to handle the house and everything else I got going on, it would not work. It's
Right.
not possible,
Mm-hmm.
and I see that a lot.
It's, that can make or break someone's
Mm,
career or their marriage because in oil and gas and like I mean with what you do, it's like you have your own business and your own way of doing things, but you prioritize your
hmm.
customers and in oil and gas when it's go time it's go time.
Yes,
There isn't we can be leisure. It's like sometimes it's every
right,
day, it's late nights. And when you don't have someone that understands, like there's a lot of women that just don't understand the
right,
life or they just can't deal with it.
right,
The hitches, the working so far away from home or the unexpected
right.
changes. But when you have a partner that's supportive and gets it, like that can make all the difference because you don't have all of that weight or that resistance that you're working
Right.
against.
That's 100%. The pressure not only of your customers, of the pressure of trying to maintain at home. Where do I do this and make this person mad, or do I make this person mad? It's when that understanding is there, it just makes that part of it so much easier. Like if she wouldn't be so understanding about me having to take trailers, that it'd be hard to say the trailer business would still be going as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got customers call me and they'll say, "Hey, when can I get the safety shower?" And what I usually do is look at a map and I'll say, it's 7 hours to you. I'll be there in 7.5 hours. I got to load the trailer up. They're like, today? And I'm like, well, you said you needed it.
Right.
As long as I got it in stock, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
And plus, there's more people out there that, you know, that can also maybe provide a trailer. So
Yeah, because and
I'm
so
on
if
my
you
way.
slept on it and said,
Yeah,
"Oh, I'll get to you next
yeah.
Monday," they could have gotten something over
That's
the
right.
weekend.
That's right. So and it's happened before, where I'm just like, I got two to go here, I got one to go here, three. That was just how it was a couple weeks ago. I had three trailers to get to Colorado, and then two to West Texas, and then I had to turn around and get back to Colorado. But it was just a matter of, I want everybody taken care of, especially if it's the same customer. I mean, I was in Debec, Colorado, on a Thursday, and that's way northwest. And then the next afternoon, I was delivering to the same company in Midland. After I went all the way back home and got the trailers and then took them out there, and the guy was like, he was like, "Hey, have you been up to our place in Debec?" I was, "Yeah, I delivered up there last night." And he's like, "You were up there last night?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's like a 16-hour drive." I'm like, "I know,"
Yeah,
but I try to be safe about it too. But at the same time, it's just when people need these trailers and services, like you just
that's
have
the
to do
oil
it.
field.
That's a
You
hundred
know
percent.
that is the oil field, and it's like if you can move with the ebbs and the flows
Mm-hmm.
and understand it, and just really don't wait.
Right.
You cannot
No.
you cannot hesitate because I mean, and I've seen that before, especially like being around the pipeline. If you get a call for the job
Uh huh.
and you need to be there in 2 days, you better start packing.
Right.
It's not, oh, wait, I've got a doctor's appointment or I've got to do all these different things. That job's going to go to someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
It's hot
I,
waiting on you.
I was so the pipeline. This guy, I went and looked at his RV the other day, and he was in Louisiana working. And the day they laid him off over there, he was on his way in, and he was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, I was going to go home," and he said, but they called him from West Texas, and they said, "Hey, can if you want to start this job, when can you be here?" He's like, "I just went right through Fort Worth and went straight out there and set my camper up." And he said, "I told my wife, like, I'm starting another job today." And but again, if he wouldn't have said yes, that $809 a day would have went to somebody else.
Hmm.
And Mr. Redmond, he knows that's what he's done his whole life.
Yeah.
And you have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
if you can't do that, it's going to be hard for you to make it.
It is, and it's so draining, and I know that it's taxing on the family
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know. You never know. You don't know
No,
when the job's going to start, when it's going to end, when the next one's going to
right?
come, and so it's like his wife. She could have been ready for him to come
Yeah,
home, and then he's gone again.
yeah.
He doesn't even make it all the way
No,
home, and that happens because especially with pipeline, you work all over the country. It's like you
right?
could be heading in and get a call, and you just got to
Yeah,
keep driving like he did, or
yeah.
go to another part of the country.
I know the safety. There's so many guys, safety companies that call and they say, "Hey, I got to have 3 safety showers tomorrow." And there's a lot of times like I try to, okay, look, I got 2 of them. Let's try to let's try to line you up with somebody else. You may have to rent another one for a day or two, and then I'm gonna get you another trailer as quick as I can. So a lot of times I try to help them out as much as I can to make sure they
Hmm.
don't lose their contract, because if they lose their contract, then I lose the sales.
Yeah.
And I've helped move trailers. I took a trailer to uh, what's the Texas A&M area? I forgot that was called.
College
College
Station.
Station. I
Hmm.
took a trailer there the other day, and I was about to leave, and they said, "Hey, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going back to Fort Worth area," and they was like, "Golly, we got to get this trailer down to Mentone, not Mentone, but down about Carrizo Springs," and I said, "I'll take it," and they're like, "What do you mean you'll take it?" I'm like, "Well, do you need it down there?" And they're like, "Yeah, but we don't have anybody." I said, "Let me take it." And
Hmm.
they said, "What are you going to charge?" And I said, "Just pay for my gas." And they're like, "It's 5 hours every way," but that's what I do,
Yeah.
you know. So I understand that you can find stuff cheaper sometimes, but you got to look at the whole picture.
And I think that too, like really looking at the whole picture, it's like you're just keeping your own momentum
Mm-hmm.
going too. Because that's what you do,
Yeah.
and you're going that extra mile, but you're already going to be on the road.
Yep.
So it's like you're delivering another trailer, and they're going to remember that. That's putting you in
For sure.
proximity of more
For
business.
sure.
So it's a matter of like really staying plugged in
Mm-hmm.
too.
100%. I've taken trailers to Wyoming, and then on the way on when I leave there, I'll fill up my truck with liner or anything that they need to their other company in West Texas. For one thing, what that does is, like I said, it keeps me plugged in, but it saves them from putting somebody else on the road,
Hmm.
safety wise, or stuff like that. When they need their guys there, they need their guys in West Texas. Like, I'm going through there,
Hmm.
just load me up, fill me up with gas. Like, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I've had some people that just they'll freak out at the fact that I do that, and I'm like I'm going through there. Like,
Right.
it's
No,
not
it
that
makes sense
hard.
to me, and I think that it's a great way. It's just like an extra layer of
Hmm.
service that
Yep,
you're not putting it out there. It just if it
for
happens,
sure.
if you're in conversation or they need something, it keeps you
Hmm.
in your own, like in
Right.
your business that you're helping them even after you've
That's
dropped
right.
off the trailer.
Yeah, I've sold a lot of trailers for customers to other customers too. I have people call me all the time like, "Hey, I got 4." I got like a guy right now. He's like, "Hey, I got 8 safety showers I want to sell. Could you sell those to somebody?" And I said, "Yeah, probably. Send me the pictures and we'll see what we can do." And a lot of times we end up selling them to somebody else. Now, is it always good for me? No, but it keeps the customers happy,
Hmm.
and it keeps my name out there.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I've done it a lot. Portacles, we do that, but I mean, it's just fun. Like, I really love the people in the oil field, and all of them, like the Pennsylvania, the West Virginia, the Delaware Basin.
Hmm.
I mean, they're all, everybody loves their own area, but they're all the same.
They
And of
definitely
course,
are.
I'm not. I'm in from the basically the Barnett Shell, so they don't. Some of them that whatever Barnett Shell,
Yeah.
but again, I mean, there's a lot of us that started here.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, but the hubs, the big hubs,
Hmm.
Permian and Delaware and the Bakken, and like you can just
Hmm.
like you can feel the culture when you
Yes,
get around it,
100%.
and especially in the Permian because there's so much activity,
Yes.
and it's where everyone either starts or
Oh yeah.
finishes And
The customer I ran into in Colorado the other day, I think I was telling you that when I was out there, I was like, I asked him, I said, well, where are you from? And he's like, Pampa, Texas. And I'm like, Pampa, Texas? I'm like, you're a little ways out of the way. And he's like, yeah, because I broke out in the West Texas and in Midland, Odessa. And now I'm up here. He got a little older. He said he wanted to get a little cooler temperature.
mhm.
But there is, I mean, so, and it's such a small group of people, honestly. There's millions of people in it, but
Mhm.
everybody, I guarantee you, everybody knows somebody
Oh
that
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean,
that's why this is so good because it's such a everybody. I mean, it's such a one-off person to contact and market. It's
mhm.
really good, and I've seen so many people grow businesses as I have on LinkedIn or on other social media stuff, and it's so fun to watch people grow organically. In a way, without having a lot of money,
Mhm.
because it takes a lot of money to grow and market. And when you're trying to do stuff on your own, I mean, it gets pretty tough sometimes,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. And that's why like when I wanted to start this, like I had a knack for marketing and
Hmm.
advertising and I'd done some different things in the past and of course I had all my pipeline and oil field
Right,
experience. I'm like, what am I going to do with all of this now?
right.
And because people spend a lot of money on advertising and you do, it takes money to make money.
Hmm.
You want to put yourself out there, whether it's branding and swag or billboards, you find what works for you,
Hmm.
but know if it's really adding value or not.
For
It
sure.
might not be a direct phone call, but are people getting to know you? Do they
Hmm.
recognize your logo? Are you associating yourself with the right things to be seen in the right
Right.
places? Because a lot of it can be redundant and it's like sponsoring and doing golf tournaments and things like that. That is great. You can find your community, be a part of it. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's raising money for nonprofits, which
Hmm.
is also great. But if you don't get in front of a new demographic, or you're not getting further out of that
Right.
ecosystem, you're just kind of representing yourself in the same circle.
100%. Like I do believe that. Like I see, and it's hard for marketing. And you probably speak on this more than me. I try to. I'm not a like no college, no nothing. But a lot of times you find yourself marketing like I want to do this, then somebody else is doing it. I want to do this, but it feels like all the marketing is kind of the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's worked since day one,
Right.
years and years and years ago. Like you always say, I want to get billboards don't work, and you just pass Bucky's 100 times. You just pass the Sefco. You're like they don't work, but you just read them the whole way down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
So the marketing has always been the same because it works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the more you see it, the more you see it, the more you see it, and the
Yeah,
more it's
and I
going to
mean,
be in your
there's
brain.
a it's about seeing it and hearing it and
Hmm.
so many times like it just like it's like seeing the billboards for Loves,
Hmm.
like truck stop, like you're
Right.
just used to seeing that.
Yep.
But if you're traveling, if you're on 20 going from Midland to Fort Worth, you're probably going to need to stop at Loves,
Right.
so now
Exactly.
you know where it's at.
That's right.
And but it is about like the right type of
Hmm.
marketing, because it's like you're going to say basically the same thing, customer service, good quality product, why we're
Right.
different, but it's being in front of the right people. And in West Texas, billboards can be impactful because it's all about your brand.
Right.
Everybody's out there, so how are you separating yourself from your competitor?
That's right.
And it's also like I think it's a little bit of a status, and you've got your billboard on
Hmm.
I-20, and just being
Hmm.
recognized and knowing that you are able to do that.
Right.
It's a little bit of a social signifier too, that you're able to invest in
Right.
advertising.
For sure. For sure. And that's it's funny because I drive out there and I see one of my customers up on a billboard. And I'm like, yeah, I sell to that. I sell to them,
Yeah.
and I think that's cool because I'm like, you feel like you have that separation right there, or that
Mm-hmm.
that connection. You're like, oh, I sell to them, or you drive by their big signs on their buildings, and you're like, man, they like I know them, like I'm part of
Yeah.
them. And a lot of times I try to be like that's what I try to do. Like I want to be part knowing that they need a trailer, they need something like right now. I mean, I've offered them. I say, hey, I'll take this to your location, I'll set it up, just make sure they know I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did it for a long time, and I don't mind doing that.
Right.
As long as y'all's insurance is fine with it, because I don't want
Yeah.
to get anybody in
Yeah.
trouble.
All the T's are
Yeah,
crossed on that
yeah,
one.
I don't carry none of the stupid stuff in my truck, so I'm good. So,
Right.
but
Oh
yeah,
yeah. No, because then there's all those liabilities.
yeah,
But
exactly right.
well, I mean,
So,
you're definitely established, and I mean, you've had a lot of success over the years. Of just the way that you're doing
hmm
it, and like looking towards the future. Is it just more growth and?
Yeah,
More expansion?
I think the growth part is where I do want to grow. Like I've been contemplating on maybe bringing in somebody else to help me with the growth part of it, because it is me. My daughter works for me. She does some marketing for me, but like I want the billboard on in West
Mm-hmm.
Texas. I want more of my brand out there. But again, it goes back to having the money or having the right connection or the right partnership that I could do that with. I don't want to just I don't want to get in with somebody who just throws money at me to do it automatically, because
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to this is the old saying, this is my little baby. But I also want to grow it to get more and more and more, because I know there's more there. I know it can be bigger, and I know there's other people like me that would help me grow it.
Mm-hmm.
So I am always looking for, not always looking, but I am looking for maybe a partnership or somebody to come in and help out in that aspect of it. And if it doesn't happen, I'd be okay with that too,
Right.
because I mean we are doing good. My kids eat every day, and
Right.
so I think
Yeah.
they're swimming today. So,
Oh, that's great.
but it's so fun to watch the companies grow out there. It really is. I've seen so many mom and pops, and well, like one time they'll buy one trailer and they'll call me and say, "Hey, we're gonna have to finance this one." So I turn them on to the people that I use for financing, and then like they'll call me the next year and be like, "Hey, I need 10 of them. I don't need no financing."
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
"That's what I'm talking about,"
Yeah.
because you feel like you didn't really help them, but you feel like you
You're
helped them.
part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to see those companies grow like that, it's like I kind of got chill bumps thinking about that, because I just had one of my customers in mind. Uh, it's just really cool to watch them grow and become part of the industry that is your Exxons, your
Mm-hmm.
XDOs,
Yeah.
your Conocos, your Marathons, stuff like that. To see some of these other ones grow, and some of the smaller names, and especially the service business and the rental business, I've seen some of them get bigger than some of the other ones that have been out there for a long
Mm-hmm.
time, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That is
You're doing
cool.
something right. I hope you're
Yeah.
doing it all right.
Yeah, I love that too. And just seeing like the good, like the positive growth in the
Yeah.
industry and the right
Yep.
people being a part of it, it's very
It
rewarding.
is. It's so fun. I mean, I say that all the time, but it's really neat to watch people just get excited about that business. And with the oil fields fixing to really, from what I'm talking to everybody, it's really going to get big again and get really pushing here the next year or so. And then I think next year is going to be really big and really powerful for the West Texas. And I've been doing more up in Wyoming and Colorado in the past 6 months than I've done all of last year. And so it's picking up there big time too. I can tell, and I can always tell where it is from where I'm going so much.
Yeah.
Like been in South Texas a lot here lately
Okay.
too, and I've seen some of the companies down there that they might have one or two trucks out in their service industries. And like when I was down there yesterday, I seen one of them he just bought 3 new trucks. So
Oh
that's a
yeah.
good feeling, when
Yeah.
you're in the business, you
Yeah,
start
that's an
feeling good about it.
indicator.
Yeah.
Things are good.
100%.
Yeah, you can pick up on those. Like when you've been in
Hmm.
it long enough, like you can start seeing the
Yeah.
trends happening and the
Yeah.
changes. That's
That's for
good.
sure. That's when sometimes we start building more of a certain type of trailer than we will. We build a lot of gate guard trailers, because down in South Texas, and in South Texas they always have to have more gate guards down there. So whenever it starts getting busier down there, we kind of stockpile our gate guard trailers, because we know that there are going to be more of them going down there
Yeah.
than normally we would, because West Texas doesn't use them so much. Now New Mexico uses them, and we sell a lot over there to New Mexico too. My friend's got a company, Gladiator Oilfield Services, and he's bought a lot of air trailers and safety showers and stuff. So I know he's getting ready for a pickup too.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah, I
I
see
can
how it's so
see,
fun for
yeah.
you too because you're able to see the big picture
Mhm.
and you've got all like everything's kind of running smoothly and so you
Mhm.
can tap into different
Right.
areas and just continue to grow and like you said it's like you've got a pretty good um, look on where things are at
Uh huh.
just by what's being ordered and where it's coming
That's
from.
right.
So you've got a different perspective on the industry
Right.
knowing what's going
And
on.
I can usually tell when like a new regulation or a new safety thing comes in, because I'll get like 4 or 5 people. Hey, I need 5 safety showers. Then another guy will go, hey, I
Okay,
need five
yeah.
safety showers. I'm like, okay, y'all. And I also know who's bidding on jobs a lot, because all of my customers call, hey, I need 5 safety trailers, 3 trash trailers, and then the next guy will call and say, I need 5 safety trailers, 3. I'm like, oh, y'all are all
Yeah.
bidding on the same
Yeah, I
job.
can picture that. That's
So
such an
that's why I
interesting.
try to keep it right across the board,
Yeah.
because I mean, I don't want to be the one that really makes or break them getting a job,
Hmm.
because then, my other customer may not get it, so it gets,
Oh yeah, because I
yeah.
know that scramble when you're not set up for
Hmm.
the job and you've got to get certain
Yeah.
things and you're hustling to get
Yeah.
stuff. And so like yeah, I could definitely see where like you would have the
Oh
inside.
yeah. I had a guy call me today. He's like, "Hey, I might need 40 safety showers." And then about 2 days later, I got a guy. He said, "Man, I'm gonna need about 36 trailers, trash trailer combos." And I'm thinking, okay, there must be a big job coming up
Hmm.
somewhere,
Yeah.
because they're all bidding on this kind of the same amount of trailers. So I get to kind of from the back end, not knowing, because I don't usually know what's going on as far as that, but I kind of know. There's a big job coming up
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, that's
Because
cool.
so it's really neat like that. Now, the bad part about it, sometimes I got customers that rent trailers from other customers, and then whenever they get enough money, they buy the trailers from me, so they don't have to rent the trailer from my other customers. So the other
Hmm.
customers, well, I just had some trailers turned in. I'm like, oh, that's because this guy,
It's because that guy.
because this guy bought them. But I feel bad, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just kind of part of it.
It
But
is part. It's
yeah, it's
definitely part of
yeah, yeah,
it, and
yeah,
so you've got to move with those ebbs and
yeah.
flows too.
So for sure, because it's you can't say I can't sell him new trailers because you're renting from him, because then he's just gonna go buy them or rent them
Hmm.
from somebody else.
Yeah.
So, but I do see a lot of things like that going on all the time, and it's really, I don't know, again, it's really fun.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
cool. Well, I
I enjoy it.
appreciate you coming on today
Well, I
and
enjoyed
talking
it.
about everything. I love following emergency trailers. I think
Yep.
it's so great just to see not only like what you're building, but the quality of it.
Hmm.
And I mean, it just grows. So
Yep.
it's one of those brands that it's a staple in West Texas and
Right.
clearly all over the country.
We've been all over the country. If they can just get those lease roads all nice and paved,
That'd
I
be
think
it.
all the trailers will last longer.
Yeah, I think they would. Maybe one day.
Yeah, guarantee it.
Well, thanks again for coming on the
Uh-huh.
show,
Thank
Casey.
you so much.
You bet. And thank you everyone for watching Power of the Permian. We'll see you next time.